kitchen. Y'all, it seems like it's been a minute since we did a cake, and you guys let me know in the comments, Miss Donna, can we get back to the cakes? So that's what we are doing today. Okay, what you doing? Let's see. Now let me get my flat beater on. You guys, last week was annual Watermelon Day, and one of our YouTube family members sent me an email, and he had done a watermelon cake, and he oftentimes does cakes. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he shares them with me, and I thought, how about I try this watermelon cake? So he said it was fine. So today we're gonna try this watermelon cake. So Bruce, I'm excited about doing this recipe. Thank you for sharing it with me. Of course, I'm gonna put my own little twist on it, y'all, because y'all know I see something in my mind, right? And then we'll just see what we come up with. Okay, so we're starting with 3 cups of our Swan's Down cake flour, and to that we've added 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. So I have my 3 cups of cake flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking flour, not blaking. I'm trying to say baking and flour at the same time. Okay, let's try this again. 3 cups of my cake flour and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder is in here. Now I sifted it one more time. Swan's Down, this cake flour comes pre-sifted in the box. When you purchase it from the grocery store, it's already sifted for you. But once I add that baking powder, and if I'm adding any other ingredients, I like to sift it just one more time, okay? Then we also have 3 cups of sugar. We have 3 sticks of unsalted butter, and it is room temperature. I have 1 cup of milk, and you guys, I just use 2% milk because that's what we buy for cereal, okay? You can use whole milk if you like, that's not a problem. We have 1 cup, and it is room temperature. I have my 5 large eggs. Y'all, we're back to our 5 large eggs at a room temperature because I finally got my case of eggs from Sam's. Speaking of which, y'all, we buy the case of eggs that are 15 dozen in the case. This is crazy. I remember when we paid about $18 and something for that case. Definitely less than $20. Y'all, that case of eggs was $61 and some change. That is absolutely absurd. I couldn't believe it. The last time we got them, they were $49 and some change. So this time, we went back $61. Y'all, that's absolutely crazy. Anywho, listen, buy the eggs. 5 eggs, okay? They're room temperature. And then, y'all, I didn't even tell you, we're doing a watermelon cake. I just started talking because I'm so excited to see you guys. And we're going to do, and I know you guys saw the title, so we're doing this watermelon cake, and we're going to add like a lime flavored glaze on the top. And of course, we need it to look like a watermelon, okay? That's the plan. So for my seed look, I'm going to be using the mini chocolate chips, and these are the Ghirardelli semi-sweet chocolate chips. I know when I use the mini, it just helps them not to sink, in my opinion. So we're using the mini chocolate chips, and then you guys, of course, it has to be, you know, a little red on the inside. So I have my super red color that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to add enough to get it to the color that I like, okay? And then of course we need some green for, this is a forest green for the outside of the cake for the glaze. And you know, sometimes the watermelon, it looks green and it looks like it has some stripes that may be a little yellow or a little white. I don't know. We might try to do the most and kind of get that effect. We'll see. But anywho, I'm going to add some watermelon oil to my pound cake. I pick up my oils, these lower end oils, from my local cake supplier. I pick up the oils and my food colorings from the local cake supplier, Kitchen Cake Magic. Here, I know some people have ordered the oils and stuff offline, okay, so you can do that as well. I want to add just a little bit of my cream bouquet. I get asked the question all the time, what does it taste like, honey? I say bakery in a bottle. That's the only way I can describe it. I really love it. To each his own. Some people don't, but I do. I want to add just a little bit of vanilla. And you guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to taste my batter. I don't mind tasting batter because I love eating cake batter. But I'm going to taste it with this watermelon oil. I'm going to add at least about half of the bottle. And I'm going to taste it to see if I get a hint of watermelon. And if I want to add some more, I will do so. Okay. Now back to this. You guys, I have watermelon jello. So I have to share my thought process with you guys. You already know. So what I see in my mind is, here we go. You know how you cut the watermelon, the inside of the watermelon, it's a little textured and you kind of, looks like you can kind of see some of the little, it looks kind of veiny on the inside. I hope that makes sense. By the way, I don't eat watermelon, so listen, I don't eat the watermelon fruit. I like some watermelon flavors and different things, but to eat the watermelon fruit, I just don't like it. Okay, so I'm trying to give it, make it kind of look like kind of veiny on the inside. Anyway, y'all, look, we're gonna experiment today. We're doing it together as always. Okay, so we'll just see what the end gonna be. How about that? Run on, bake on, see what the end's gonna be. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. And we're just going to see how it turns out. When I get ready to add my chocolate chips, I do think I'm just going to fold them in, okay? We're turning on our oven. We're baking at 325 degrees. So by the time we're done mixing up this cake, that should be ready. Of course, I have thoroughly washed my hands. Don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands. Because guys and girls and gals, oh, that's just nasty. Okay. It is. And it always will be. Okay. So we're adding our 3 sticks of butter. And what I'm going to do is turn the mixer on before I add the sugar. I always like to mix up the butter just a few seconds by itself just to get it mixed. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to mention that I'm also adding a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to go on and put that in the mixer now. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And to that, I'm going to go on and add my flavorings. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit of my vanilla. Just a little bit, just a little bit. A little bit of my cream bouquet. And you guys, the ingredients are always in the description box below, okay? I'm gonna add maybe about 1/2 teaspoon of cream bouquet. And then my watermelon oil. Like I said, we're gonna do about half this bottle. Okay, and then like I said, I'll taste my batter. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna start mixing up this butter by itself, and then I'm gonna slowly start adding my 3 cups of sugar. Okay, and then we're gonna cream this butter and sugar for about 12 minutes. I do set a timer. Okay. You can't rush this process. it can affect the outcome of your cake. This creaming of the butter and the sugar is very, very important. So I set a timer, I walk away, I do something else. Now during that mixing process, I will stop my mixer and scrape down my bowl at least 2 times, because what you'll notice is that butter and sugar is going to start collecting on the sides of your bowl, which means if it's up here on the sides of your bowl, it's not getting properly creamed. I tried to show you in the last cake I did, and the camera just wasn't really showing it good for people that say they cream only 5 minutes. To each its own. I cream at least 10 to 12 minutes, and again, it makes a world of difference in your cake. If you don't do it properly, it can make your cake gummy. Have you ever seen a gummy cake? It can make it fall, it can make it dense, all of the above, and that's not what we want. So just take your time and do it right, okay? So we're going to cream this butter and sugar for about 12 minutes, and then I'm actually going to stop once I'm done creaming, so you can see up close exactly what it should look like when I say light and fluffy. You don't want to hear those sugar crystals mixing around in the bottom of your bowl. And for those of you who think I'm talking too much, if you know how to bake a cake, honey, well, more power to you. There are some people who really like for me to explain exactly what's happening and why, and that's what I'm doing. Okay? All right, let's get started. "12 minutes later, we have light and fluffy." Okay, look at that. It actually looks like cotton candy, but it's light and fluffy, and that's the texture that we're looking for. So again, don't be impatient during this process. So now that we've creamed our butter and sugar, it's time to start adding our eggs. I did forget to mention that when I cream, I do cream on high. So this mixer was set on like 8.5, okay? So now we're going to start adding our eggs one at a time. And I only mix the eggs just for a few seconds. You know, that yolk will break up and start to disappear. So that only takes maybe about 8 to 10 seconds in between adding the next egg. Once all of the eggs are added, I'm going to start adding the flour, alternating the flour with the milk. You're going to notice that before I start adding this flour, I'm going to turn this mixer down. I'm going to turn it down to 2, because this is a process, this is the time in the mixing process that you do not want to over mix. The same rules apply. It can make your cake heavy, fall, dense, all of the above. So be sure to turn your mixer down and do this part on low. Now while I'm adding, I think when I add the eggs, I'm going to go on and start adding some of my red food coloring to make sure it gets mixed up really good. So I'm going to add that while I'm adding the eggs, and then we're going to move on to adding the flour and the milk. When you're going to alternate the two, you always want to start with your dry. You want to end with your dry ingredients, okay? When you're mixing the flour and alternating with the milk, you're not trying to mix it, and get it silky smooth. That's not what we're looking for. That is over mixing. This process, once I start alternating the milk and the flour, it only takes a couple of minutes, if that long. I mean literally. So it doesn't take as long as it does to cream the butter and sugar, okay? So again, we're going to start adding our eggs one at a time, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to add some of this red food coloring. Then I'm going to turn my mixer down, and I'm going to start alternating with the flour and the milk, and then once we're done with that, we're going to fold in these chocolate chips. You guys, my apologies. I usually show when I'm adding that last little bit of flour, and you guys, as soon as I dumped it, I said, oh my goodness, I forgot to turn the camera back on. So I do apologize, but it was just me adding that last little bit of flour. I also went on and added the rest of that oil. I used this whole bottle of the watermelon oil. I tasted it when I was mixing the cream and the butter and the sugar, and I could taste a hint of the watermelon, and I wanted a little more of that, so I said, let me add the rest of it. So I used that entire bottle of watermelon oil. Okay, now we're going to take our mini chocolate chips and we're going to fold them in. And I would say use, let me see, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use that entire bag. And I think I am. Just going to use the entire bag, okay? Make sure we can see our seeds. Now you guys, although I don't eat watermelon, I did do my little research and read that chocolate goes well with watermelon flavor just like it does with strawberries and some of the other fruits. So I thought, okay, let's give this a try. I have thoroughly sprayed my cake pan with Baker's Joy. And let me show you guys what we're getting ready to do with this watermelon jello. Now, if you've seen me add jello in some of my other videos, you probably know what I'm getting ready to do in adding this water, because you cannot get this too runny. If you get this too loose, it's going to mess up your cake, okay? So I'm going to start with this little teaspoon, and I've already poured the watermelon jello. Some of it is probably about half of the package that I poured in here. So there is some left, okay? So just add a little bit at a time because you do not want this too runny. If you make it too runny, it's going to mess up your cake, you guys, okay? Okay. So that was about 3 little tablespoons. What I do know is that I want this just a little bit darker. So let me add just a little smidget of this food coloring. Let's see. Don't want to get too much. Get just a little bit on the spoon. Okay, so you guys see the consistency of this. Again, you can't have it too runny. And as a matter of fact, let me make sure mine isn't too runny. I'm going to add some more. May have gotten just a little bit too loose. Okay. So now we're just going to start adding our batter. And then we'll add a little bit of the watermelon jello. And I don't know, you guys, you may or may not even be able to see this in the cake. We will see. Just kind of want it to look like little veins. I don't want to put it in places too thick. So I'm trying to kind of make like a little line formation, if that makes sense. Here we go again, doing the most, y'all, but look. Now, this is just how I want to see it in the cake, and I'm trying to be careful not to get real close to the tube. So that's what we're looking like, and now we're just going to add our last little bit of batter on top. Our oven is ready. And we're getting ready to bake our watermelon cake. I can't wait to see what it tastes like, because as of right now I can taste a hint of the watermelon flavor. So that should be fun. Okay. So now we're just going to even up batter. Get it level as possible so our cake won't be lopsided. Okay, so we're going in 325 degrees. We are setting our timer. Set my timer for an hour and 15 minutes, but I am certain that I will be able to smell it before then. If I need more time, I'll add it. If I don't need quite as much time, then I'm going to check it before it gets to the hour and 15 minutes. Now, you never, ever, ever open the oven to check your cake before the hour mark, okay? At least I don't. I never open my oven before that first hour, okay? So it's going to bake at least an hour before I open to check. And most of the time, I'll wait at least an hour and 10 minutes before I check anyway. Because if you check too soon, you can make your cake. Okay, the cake has just a couple more minutes to bake. So before we take it out, I'm going to show you really quick how easy it is to make a glaze. I'm going to start by using, this is about 1 ounce of cream cheese, and it's softened. I like to mix it up or smush it up a little bit to get started. And then we're just going to add our powdered sugar. You guys, I really never really measure, but in an effort to try to give you guys some measurements, if you wanted to make a glaze, maybe start with like 2 cups of powdered sugar. And then when you add your milk, you add it slowly, because once you get it in there, you can't get it out, okay? So start with two cups of powdered sugar, and then about 2 tablespoons of milk. Ooh. And then go from there. Now, I like to have mine kind of thick in the beginning. Ooh, listen, lady. I forgot this was a full gallon of milk. Let's see if that was too much. Okay. I think we're going to be okay. Ooh, y'all. It seemed like so much milk came out. So you guys don't do that. I totally forgot that this was a new gallon. So it just poured. Okay, but we're okay. Now, I like to start with mine a little thick. That way it's easier for me to get it smooth. We're going to add just a little bit of my cream bouquet, just a little bit. And then I'm also going to add just a little bit of this lime extract, okay? Just a couple of drops. All right. And I'm going to add just a little bit more powdered sugar too. And you guys, I'm a glaze girl, so I like a thick glaze. A glaze girl. And then we just mix. I never do this using a mixer. I always do it by hand, and we whip. Okay. And just that quick, you guys, we've got glaze. Easy peasy. And since we're doing green, we're going to add some of this green food color to it, gel food coloring, so it will look like, that's the forest green. Let's see, let me see what the leaf green looks like. Oh, kind of a different color green. We've got about 20 seconds before the cake comes out. This is new, hadn't been opened. About 10 seconds to take out this cake. Let's see. See if that's going to look more like, okay, that's better. Okay. So between the two, going back and forth between that leaf green and the forest green to kind of give me that watermelon green I'm looking for. Okay, so we've got glaze, you guys. All right, let me get this cake out the oven. Okay, let's see. Woo. Oh, you guys, I can really, it does smell watermelon-y. Is that a word? watermelon-y. Look, you guys. So we baked for an hour and 15 minutes, okay? I'm gonna set the timer for 15 minutes, not 15 minutes, honey, 10 minutes before we flip. And you guys, I'm just gonna keep working on this glaze to get it the color that I want. I want it a little darker. Okay, so we're gonna let this cake cool. I believe that's about it. And then we'll be back when I'm ready to flip, okay? Okay, it's been 10 minutes, so we are flipping. That thump felt just a tad bit delayed. And I see why. Because we stuck a little bit, those chocolate chips. And you know, I started to put some, let me show you guys in just a second. I started to put, so let me show you before I fill it in. So it was some of those chocolate chips that stuck. And I actually forgot to do it. I was going to put some of the batter in first by itself with no chocolate chips in it first. That's what I meant to do. So you guys, sometimes that may help, because I wondered if this chocolate was gonna stick to the chocolate pieces that sank, if it was gonna stick to the pan. But it's okay, no worries, it is salvageable. And then we're gonna put that yummy glaze on the top. That should help kind of camouflage it a little bit, but it's all good. So we're just gonna get these hunks of chocolate chips out of here and add them to the top of the cake, okay? But otherwise, let's see, okay? Let me stick you right here. So it's not bad, you guys. Okay. See, so that's what I ended up doing. Just kind of filling it in. So whenever it sticks like that, if you can kind of grab some of it out and just fill in the holes, then that's all you need to do, okay? Okay, so now we are going to cool for, I'm gonna let it keep cooling, you guys, at least for another, at least for another 45 minutes to an hour. Okie dokie, it's an hour later. So we've cooled long enough. This is my pretty watermelon colored glaze. Isn't that pretty, you guys? So I know I want to just get the entire cake covered with the glaze. Because I want it totally covered like a green watermelon. Watermelon pound cake with a thick lime flavored cream cheese glaze, and all of the extra glaze is of course down in it is time. Y'all, it seems like it's been a minute since I said that.
Which one of these?
There you go. All in the camera.
Hey everybody, how y'all been? I want to ask y'all a question. What's
There,
yours better?
there you go. Doing the most.
Oh,
Now tell me what this is.
that's a cake. That was all right. Oh,
What does it look like?
watermelon. It looked like a watermelon. A watermelon.
Look, y'all. Watermelon.
Are you serious?
Oh my gosh, that is the cutest. Okay, save me my little piece. Look, you guys.
Watermelon
Yeah,
pound cake.
look, you guys. Wait a minute,
Wow.
am I holding it right? Can y'all see that? Look, y'all. Watermelon.
It tastes like watermelon.
Do you taste watermelon?
It really tastes like watermelon.
Oh my, okay, wait a minute,
Are you
I'm
serious?
gonna get my thumbnail in a minute.
Are you serious? It really tastes like watermelon.
Do you taste the watermelon?
I really do. I promise. I know.
See, I ain't gonna get you. I got
Watermelon.
the end. Let me see.
Watermelon pound cake. This is crazy. I mean, you can really taste it.
I can taste that watermelon oil.
Is that?
Oh my goodness. It's a watermelon oil. I was wondering about my chocolate chips because I shouldn't have tapped it. A lot of them fell in my cake stuck. Okay, babe.
This is crazy. You're lying to the taste buds.
Look, babe.
So would this be a
Let me
fruit?
get up so they can.
Would this be considered a fruit because you can eat more of this because it's healthy?
No, baby, ain't no fruit in there.
It is.
I'm trying to get my light right, y'all.
This a watermelon pound cake. Man, this is so cool.
Okay, step back, babe. Wow. Then that's making my forehead shiny. Baby, are you looking up? You always doing something. Okay, let's see. Sir, you're not cooperating.
I am. Please.
Okay, whatever. Jeez. Oh my goodness. All right, Bruce. Bruce.
Where's Bruce?
Might be on to something.
A watermelon. This
Bruce is always baking cakes, and he told me he was fixing a watermelon pound cake. I said, last week was annual watermelon day.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Didn't tell me I must have been working.
That's all right, y'all.
This is really.
That's cute, ain't it?
It's lying to the taste buds.
That's another thing, too. What you call that when the fact that it looks like a watermelon maybe make you feel like you're tasting watermelon flavor?
No, this tastes like watermelon.
Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting.
You are deceiving my taste buds. And I want to see is the deception the same. Let me taste another deception.
Well, oh, you guys, when I decided to leave well enough alone and not be trying to do them little stripes on the watermelon, I just stuck with that, you guys.
Oh, it's a watermelon pound cake.
Who does that? All right. See, that's why it's not good for me to cut another piece of cake. You just need to share with me. Share your cake with me. You don't have no more cake.
What would you go?
Listen.
Didn't you get a piece?
I did, but you know, I don't be
Don't
trying
share
to.
it.
I don't be trying to eat no whole piece of cake. But listen,
Okay,
let's
share
get
some of
on
yours with me. It is so, it's so red like watermelon. It really is so red. on
Oh,
the
and
inside.
speaking of which, the watermelon jello I put in trying to do the little veins, child, I don't see that. But yeah, I saw he dropped it. They gonna let me know in the comments, Miss Donna, he dropped cake because he was trying to sneak it. But the watermelon jello that I put in it, I don't see the veins, but that probably helped give it more of a watermelon flavor. This here is all right. Yep.
I'll tell you what. Those children can have a good time with this. Let me tell you.
That's all right right there. Okay.
I declare it to be a fruit, so therefore you can eat a lot of it. It's watermelon. What are you already saying?
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's time to experiment and doing the most. Seems like it's been a minute since I've been in here. Some of them let me know in the comments, Miss Donna, we're gonna need you to get back in the kitchen, okay, with the cakes. See, look, watermelon flavor oil.
Oh, that's what gives it the flavor.
And I put some watermelon jello in it. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I was trying to be detailed, so this video may be a little bit longer. Yeah, I be trying to keep them to about 35 minutes, but sometimes it's hard when I'm trying to give you guys details.
Let me see your teeth.
Great.
What are you talking about,
So thank you guys so much for watching. If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so and turn on that notification bell.
That means hit the nosy.
And when you do, that notification bell will shake, and that's that shake something, shake something, shake something, shake something.
Shake.
We already look forward to you joining us again
I feel like shaking.
next time. Bye.